Bars come and go, but some last long enough that they not only become institutions, they become a part of history. Today on CityCast Las Vegas, we revisit an episode where my co-host Sarah Lohman and I, along with some surprise guests, went on a day drinking crawl through the 5 oldest, still functioning dive bars in Las Vegas, and oh, the things we saw and drank. It's Tuesday, December 9th. I'm Dayvid Figler, and here's what Las Vegas is talking about. Before we get started, our first special guest of the episode is executive producer Sonia Jo Swanson. Hey, Sonia.
Hello.
Well, you are here because it is day 2 of our year-end membership campaign, and we are inviting our listeners to become CityCast Las Vegas neighbors.
Yes, join us. Come join the hottest club in town. And that's because in 2026, we want Las Vegas to feel like a place where people know each other a little better and care a little more.
Yeah.
And, that's what we're trying to do with CityCast Las Vegas neighbors. So we're trying to make that happen through this really special membership program.
Now, neighbors are people that you typically will show up with at a dive bar to go drinking. But if you can't do that, at least you could give them the gift of this podcast, because now we are actually offering gift memberships. So if you go to membership.citycast.fm/gifts, you can have what I like to think will be the perfect holiday gift for someone you care about in this city.
Think about this person in your life who kind of has everything they need. They don't need another apron. They don't need another set of pajamas. You don't need to give them another tie.
Socks.
Bottle of bourbon. I mean, also they can get these things for themselves, right? I mean, what can you give them that's actually truly unique? And we'll give them access to our exclusive membership events, give them a weekly events email that only members get. What else comes with a CityCast Las Vegas membership, Dayvid?
Well, you get ad-free listening, but just stepping back to the events calendar, I would say that more than anything else, people appreciate, obviously the topics we do on this podcast, but boy, there's nowhere else that has such a comprehensive list of the things that you can do with your friends here in Las Vegas. It's really a wonderful asset. And as a neighbor, you also get invites to special meetups, like we got one coming up for the holidays, yeah?
Hey, yes, this event looks so cool. Okay, so Crush Pad Wine Bar, which, by the way, is founded by a CityCast Las Vegas neighbor. They're hosting a members-only event at this lovely neighborhood wine bar, Crush Pad Wine Bar, just for our members. It's coming up very soon.
This week.
We have actually sold out all the seats for our members. However, we have reserved. It's very special. We've reserved a very few number of seats for members who sign up now this week. So sign up. You'll get an email with an invite for that event, all the details. If you want to come and meet other like-minded folks, you can do that at this event at Crush Pad Wine Bar.
So go over to membership.citycast.fm and sign up for yourself or as a gift and get all the goodies of being a neighbor. So, Sarah, you and I got paid to go day drinking at the oldest dive bars in Las Vegas.
I think a lot of people will be jealous of our jobs, but it was hard work, Dayvid.
It was hard work. And this was your idea. So what inspired you to pitch it?
I have to shout out Vintage Las Vegas, which, as you know, is my favorite Instagram account and website. I love it. He posted a list of Las Vegas's oldest bars. It was the 10 oldest and when they were established, and gave some footnotes to that too. And it just sort of dawned on me, I had not been to at least half of the bars on this list. And wouldn't it be fun to have this experience all in one day and see what it says about our city?
Yeah, it's such a great website. All right, so real quick, we're going to keep using the term dive bar. What is a dive bar?
Yeah, we're going to use the term dive bar because these oldest bars are also dive bars, I think. Dayvid, you have to tell me, because I think for me, the one thing I know is a dive bar can't be built. It occurs naturally over time.
Yeah.
Like a crystal formation,
Yeah, it has to age, for sure. Like a stinky cheese.
It's kind of unintentional. It's very local. It's very chill. In Vegas, all of these bars are 24 hours. hours. All of them allow smoking, and most of them also have gambling. So we might say that that's like a local specialty.
Yeah, I think also if you spill something, no one really cares and it doesn't really mess up anything.
It's sticky.
Yeah.
It has a baked-in quality that I love. I love these spaces, Dayvid. I mean, nothing sounds complimentary, but these are like the best spaces to drink in no matter what city you're in. The beers are cheap.
They are the holdouts, for the most part, of 24-hour access to alcohol.
Yeah, and they do still change with time. Like a lot of the bars we went to had like really good beer on tap, as well as like, you know, a $2 or $4 Miller Lite in a bottle. But there are also some things that stay the same, usually the decor.
Before we jump into the first stop, which was Atomic, I think we have to explain the controversy about including Atomic, and also why a bar that proclaims itself to be older wasn't included. The Hard Hat.
Yeah. Okay, so I trust Vintage Las Vegas on this because he does not mess around with what businesses say on their websites, because people say a lot of things on their websites, and he will go into those archives. He will go to the city records. He will go to the newspapers, and he will find out.
He is thorough.
Yes, a great historian. So Hard Hat basically claims to be one of the 5 oldest bars, but the date that they proclaim that they opened is actually when the building was built, not when the business opened. So sorry, Hard Hat. I mean, nobody really cares, but for this I mean,
we love the Hard Hat. Let's get real there. It is one of our favorite spots.
And if we get to do the next 5 oldest bars, which I hope we do, because it's a totally different vibe in those, we will be going to the Hard Hat. It is still one of the oldest bars in Las Vegas, no matter what. Now, Atomic, though, is the oldest bar in Las Vegas. It's a little controversial in your mind because you don't consider it to be a dive bar.
Right. See, I went to the Atomic when it was a dive bar. And then it closed down for a renovation.
Couple years, 2 years. After the original owners passed away in 2010, they were 91.
Wow.
Yeah.
And, you know, it wasn't as fancy as it is now. And the clientele was very, very, I'm going to add like 5 very to that different.
There were more fights per night.
I do love the Atomic, and I think it captures the spirit of what was there before it. It didn't change it so radically that you didn't recognize the bar. The outside is the same. That beautiful signage out front, fantastic.
Yeah.
But it's a little fancy to be the dive bar. I'm not going to spill stuff there as much as I do to the others.
Okay, counterpoint. I think that you have the curse of remembering what was there before, which is definitely like me in New York City. And since I'm fresh and new here, I still think it's a dive bar because nobody is walking into Atomic and being like, oh, look at this beautiful wine bar. I bet they do champagne by the bottle here. What vintage do they have? No, it's a shitty bar. It's a slightly cleaner, shitty bar, and it's very old. It's actually been in operation since 1945. It opened as a cafe, and then it's considered officially opened in 1954 because that's when they got a liquor license and a pouring license, which is a kind of a unique grandfathered in license that a lot of these older bars have, where you can sell liquor specifically, not just beer, and also like sell it in the bottle, but also like pour alcohol. It's also a bar. Do you know what I mean? It's super unusual. Have never encountered this in any other city.
Well, it's iconic because it shows up in so many photos, old school, people on the roof looking at actual atomic testing.
Yeah, when there were many less buildings around it to block the view. Yeah. So it was bought after the owners passed away in 2010. Like they'd owned it since 1945 to 2010. That's bananas. And then it opened in 2012 by like a posse of local bar owners to be the place that it is today.
And they did a fantastic job with it. Yeah. It is brilliant inside. It is definitely a place that I bring people when they come to town or where we meet.
It's convenient location too.
My recent high school reunion did its first night at the Atomic, and it was actually quite glorious.
I want to call it my favorite part, and I'd love to hear your favorite part. I love that their well whiskey is Old Crow, which was a favorite of Hunter S. Thompson. He didn't drink at the bar. It's just sort of a nod to his presence here in Vegas, which we've discussed before and have mixed feelings about. It's also the base of their cocktail, which I would say is very not dive bar of them. Dive bars have beers and like as your partner says, 2 ingredient drinks. This is a cocktail. It was a Hunter S. Smash. It's got like Aperol and simple syrup and citrus and Old Crow, and they have it on tap. But it was like genuinely delightful. Genuinely delightful.
Yeah, love that bar. I had a tiramisu stout from Boulevard Brewing. They always have a great selection of
Great
beers
draft
there.
list.
Yeah,
Love
this
it.
was $8 for 8 ounces, and it was pure heaven. It's just such a delicious beer, and a great way to start our adventure.
We should mention we had a budget that we came in under. So we'll do the roundup of how much it cost to do this day of drinking at the end.
Yeah. So definitely a good bargain, probably the most expensive of the places that we went.
Yeah, we spent the most there, surely.
And I want to mention in all the bars, but especially Atomic, there were plenty of people there in the middle of the day. And
half a dozen.
We had a really lovely bartender, and her name was Naz.
Shout out to Naz.
Well, it seems like crunch time comes earlier and earlier for holiday gift giving. So many options out there, but you also want something that's going to be personal. I like Aura frames for that. So Aura frames are a shared digital format. They come in these beautiful frames, packaged in premium gift boxes. When you send one to someone, there's no price tag on it. And immediately, with an easy mobile app, you start uploading the photos that you want to share with your family. You can't wrap togetherness, but you can frame it. And for a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames, which have been named #1 by Wirecutter by using the promo code CityCast at checkout. That's auraframes.com, promo code CityCast. This deal is exclusive to listeners, and those frames do sell out fast, so order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. Support this show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
This episode is sponsored by Babbel. The idea of learning a new language can be scary. I felt overwhelmed by that. I bet you have too. I'm CityCast CEO Dayvid Plotz, and studies show that up to 90% of people trying to learn a new language give up. 90%. Fortunately, Babbel's built so it's really easy to get started and really easy to stick with it. They understand that people learn differently. So maybe you can dive into a podcast on Babbel when you don't feel like a quick lesson, or you can speak out loud to get practice in, or you can explore courses based on specific topics and even create your own customized review lists, all within the Babbel app. Babbel has made learning a language all about small steps with real wins and progress you can actually track and feel. Bite-sized lessons that fit easily into your daily routine and are also easy to remember. Just 10 minutes a day is enough to start seeing real results. I've been learning Spanish with Babbel, and it's helped when I've traveled in Mexico, and it helps me eavesdrop on my son and my girlfriend when they speak Spanish to try to fool me. No más, mi corazón. However you learn best, by listening, speaking, reading, or writing, Babbel adapts to your style and keeps you motivated with personalized learning plans, real-time feedback, and progress tracking. And right now, here's a special limited time deal for CityCast listeners. Right now, get up to 55% off your Babbel subscription at babbel.com/CityCast. Get up to 55% off at babbel.com/CityCast. Spelled BABBEL.com/CityCast. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Okay, where did we head from Atomic?
We went to Pop's to fortify, Dayvid.
Pop's Sandwich Shop.
Yeah, this was your suggestion. It was on the way to Decatur. They've been there for 20 years? They're a Philly cheesesteak place. And we got it to go and took it right over to Decatur because they don't serve food there, so you can bring food in there.
You know, a lot of the dive bars, that's another kind of component is you just bring food in. That's fine.
Order in, bring it in. Yeah, it's totally fine.
Okay, so we made it across the street, right next to Arizona Charlie's in a strip mall. Is Decatur Liquors, which really wasn't marked like Atomic with its fancy signage.
No, but I loved it. This spot felt the most Vegas to me because, okay, maybe it's the opposite in that it didn't have cool classic Vegas neon, but it was just in a strip mall with a very not noticeable sign. I mean, things in strip malls are so Vegas. And what I did love about it is they was right next to Desert Liquidators and the Charleston Antique Mall, which Rob just recently featured in the newsletter. Mm-hmm. So future plan is go have a few and then head over to that antique mall and just have the best day. It was open in 1963, by the way. It's been there forever. It is a packaged liquor store. You can buy bottles as well as a bar. I asked our bartender, Sherry, what their specials were, and she said, Our drinks are pretty cheap. That's our special.
That's our special.
Which with the appropriate amount of irritation for an afternoon bartender at a dive bar.
Yeah. And there were people in there as well, not as crowded as Atomic, but there were tons of tables and it was really roomy and just a pleasant experience. For a dive bar, it was pretty clean and well kept.
It was. And they do cute community things. Like I noticed there was a sign-up board for their Thanksgiving potluck, which is so
fun.
nice.
Yeah.
It's just, I had never been. It's in an unusual neighborhood, I would say, too. But it's also just perfect. It's just perfect.
Yeah, and I think that there's probably more regulars that sort of flow in every day a little bit after noon because we were still pretty early in the day. And what do you have there?
I had a Corona and my sandwich, and your partner had a Lagunitas, so they did have like good beer on tap too. And what did you have?
I just had a Miller Lite.
Yeah, you were just sipping.
Yeah, and that felt like the right spot to have that particular beer. Okay, so then we left Decatur Liquors and we headed on over to my neighborhood to the Huntridge Tavern, which I believe was built with the same floor model as Decatur Liquors.
They're kind of sisters. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also in a strip mall, but now a much fancier strip mall because that's the Huntridge Plaza that's seen that big revival and a new Yesco sign and everything.
Yeah, Jay Dapper special over there with cool stuff nearby. There's Yukon Pizza, Winnie and Ethel's. There's the Hot Barbershop. There's a big old Savers and the fancy Capriati's. There's a lot of stuff going on over there.
At this point, we were a party of 4 because we were joined by producer Myron Kaplan, who went around the corner to Yukon Pizza and proclaimed it the best pizza they'd ever had. But Myron maybe had a shot at that point, and that always does make pizza taste better.
That's true. So Myron got the slice, came on back.
Yep.
What was the vibe in HT? I call it the HT.
It was chill. Your partner pointed out to me that there is a wall with plaques of people who had done 100 shots of Jameson. Not all at once, but it speaks to like how many regulars there are that they keep a tally. And then once you reach that goal, you go on the wall forever. So super neighborhoody. Even though the outside is fancy now, the inside has barely changed.
Yeah. And also packed with people at, in the early afternoon at that point.
2:30 p.m. I don't know if there were people there.
There were regulars.
It was also a Thursday.
Yeah, but trust me, I go in there at different hours of the day for different reasons. I used to have a landscaper who wouldn't show up sometimes, and I knew exactly where to find him. So I would cruise over. I was like, hey, Bert. Yeah. Anyway, so who was our bartender there, and what did you have to drink at the HT?
Okay, it was Tina.
AKA Rocket.
Rocket?
Yeah, that's her Derby name.
That's right. She was talking about Derby. I should say, too, that Huntridge opened in 1954 over in East Charleston. It's been in this location since 1962. I only had the whiskey and the cocktail. I had a Old Crow on the Rocks and the Hunter S. Smash at Atomic. And from then on out, I did stick with light beers because this is a marathon, not a sprint. So this part is a little vague for me, but it all snaps back when we go to Dino's.
I had a Jameson just to stay in the tradition of the Huntridge Tavern. And also mention that Huntridge Tavern does live music. They do karaoke nights there in that very tiny bar. It's very DIY, have a lot of fun. But yeah, definitely a old school favorite as far as dive bar. Drink a lot for a little bit of money. Yeah.
So cheap. And there's a lot of good food within walking distance right there. And that always helps too.
Absolutely. All right. From the Huntridge Tavern, we went to Dino's.
What a picturesque outside of this bar. I took some good snaps there. It's so cool.
Now, Dino's is more my regular place. I knew both bartenders when we walked in because we walked in mid-shift.
Oh, sure. Yes.
So shout out to Janelle and Mariah.
They were so nice. They were so sweet.
They are so nice. Yeah, and I recently reported the appearance of Chris Martin of Coldplay at their notorious karaoke night.
And then wildly at this bar, we met a couple that we had seen at Atomic because they were also doing a crawl of Las Vegas's oldest bars.
How strange was that?
Yes, and it was Janelle, the bartender, that was like, oh, they're doing the same thing. Yeah, they're opening a bar in Portland, and so they're researching dive bars. And we had the discussion about a dive bar cannot be built, but they want to infuse some classic Vegas-ness. So I told them to go to 4 Mile.
It's so funny that we cross paths.
Yes, that's the last time we saw them, but...
Yeah, nice people. So what was your take on Dino's? Because that's a place that I could literally draw a map of with my eyes closed, like every nook and cranny.
This is the bar that I'm the most likely to go back to, outside of Atomic, which I've been to a ton of times. By the way, there's been a bar in that space since 1953. It was called Ringside Liqueurs, which itself moved from another spot in the 1940s. So this is kind of like one of the oldest contiguous bar spaces. Dino's has been open since 69. Again, they say 62. Vintage Las Vegas has done some investigating. It doesn't matter. World famous karaoke, now even more famous because of Chris Martin.
Myron actually won a free beer. Yes, we lost your partner at this point. Myron was still with us. You have to guess what suit of cards is under the cap of the PBR, but I didn't even know the PBRs had like hearts, spades, and diamonds underneath their caps. Learn something new in every dive bar.
They were all spades. So Myron guessed spades.
They were all spades. Why? Yeah. After the second spade, I should have gone spade, but I thought it was going to change up. But I love that Myron got the free PBR. I sipped on mine. Well, they've done so many cool things over the years. They did a thing called Dr. Sketchy's there for a while, where it was like a life drawing class, and they...
Oh, I would have done that. And of course, Drunk of the Month.
Drunk of the Month on the wall.
Amazing
so
and
clever.
sad. The photo of their favorite regular. It's pretty fantastic. Really iconic space. Really enjoyed it my first time there.
All these bars allow smoking.
Oh, I was saturated. It was in my skin.
Yeah, and I think Huntridge Tavern is always a giveaway. If you've been in there, people will smell it on you. Dino's kind of the same thing. Even though they have really cool air filtration systems, there's just no getting around it. It's a place to smoke, gamble, and drink.
Baked in for 60 years. Like, that smell ain't going nowhere.
And I also like the fun signage, like on the women's bathroom, the kind of girls.
Yeah, the interior is really remarkable. And it was, you know what, it was not very crowded. There were a couple people at the bar, but it was fun to be in these spaces when they were sort of empty. And they did make for compelling images to like look at them in these quiet moments. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah, karaoke nights do get really, really crowded in there. And I love the fact that it's a family business for a really long time. Kristen, the owner, kind of got it from her folks and on and on and on. It's nice, but it's been handed down. And she's just done such a great job with that spot.
Yeah.
All right, finally, filled up but not done. Neither one of us had been to the 4 Mile Bar on Boulder Highway. That's ultimately where I left you and our producer, Myron Kaplan.
And we were joined by Eric Duran-Valle, one of our contributors, too, which was really delightful.
And Layla Muhammad, our interim executive producer, popped in for a second, too. So that was really nice. But what was your impression? Well, first of all, give me a little history of the 4 Mile Bar.
Yeah, it's named after the neighborhood. 4 Mile is a community that existed like outside of Las Vegas. Got its name because it was 4 miles from the courthouse.
But spelled funky.
Yeah, I think they just did it to like be cool. I mean, you know Vegas, you know the desert, right?
Sure.
4 Mile Bar is spelled just how it sounds, but with the number 4. Yeah. 4 Mile Bar has amazing neon, and basically we pass it when we're on the way to each other's neighborhoods, so we see it all the time.
Yeah.
Usually a lot of bikers out front. There wasn't this time. I would say this is the diviest dive bar we went to that night. I
would agree. This reminded me of a lot of bars that aren't around anymore in Las Vegas that I used to go to a lot in the 90s. But, you know, they all didn't survive. Bars like Pogo's for old school people, they just aren't around anymore. I want to get in there somewhere that the town of 4 Mile, as it did exist, was spelled Formyle, which I did think was kind of clever. But
yeah, it's kind of clever.
Anyway, so tell me the experience.
4 Mile Bar was carpeted. Did you notice that?
I did not notice it. By that point, I wasn't noticing a whole lot, except the patrons, quite frankly.
It was carpeted and wood paneled. It's sort of like, you know how the Silver Stamp feels like a Midwestern basement? It's kind of like the not cute version of the Silver Stamp. Like the Silver Stamp took 4 Mile and made it cuter.
The anti-Silver Stamp in a lot of ways.
Because it's real. This is what I'm saying. Dive bar can't be made, right? So it was carpeted and wood paneled. Our bartender was named Steve, only gentleman of the evening.
Yep.
He was good-natured, and I would say that we were the most sober people in there. I was on my 7th drink at this point. It was 5:30 p.m.
It's a place for drinking.
People had been drinking, which we had come there to do, so I'm not here to judge. When I walked in, I was like, oh, the other bars compared to this are cute. This is a real dive bar.
It is the Pride of Boulder Highway. We were greeted by a patron upon entry, which was, I'm going to say, both charming and unsettling at the same time.
He was pretty drunk. He was having a good time. We had some shots of Fireball.
We did. We did a round of shots of Fireball there. I felt that was appropriate when it was suggested by you, Sarah.
It was on display, and I said, are we doing a shot of Fireball? And you said, yes, we are. Our goal was that the two of us were going to drink all afternoon at these 5 stops for under $100. I tipped at least $2 per drink at every bar. We actually bought 12 drinks for $98 and change.
Yeah, it's always been my joke that you go into a place like Dino's or Hunter's Tavern with a $20 bill, and you could buy a round of drinks for all your friends who are with you, no matter how many friends, and you will get change.
And I should say that out of all the bars did take our company card except for 4 Mile. It is cash only.
Cash only.
Another sign of a real, true blue dive bar. Cash only, baby.
Yeah. There's so many of these old bars that are just floating around that have been around for decades and decades and decades. So why do you think that these dive bars still resonate in our community, especially a town like ours that's always opening new and pretty places with high-end stuff?
You know, for people who do want to connect to old school Las Vegas, these are the places, right? There are still here from a different time and are a little bit of a time capsule inside. So whether you have lived here a long time and want to reconnect with those spaces, or you're a tourist and want to really feel what that's like, any of these spaces are it.
Also, the patrons seem to be of a sort who carry around with them a lot of Las Vegas history and are very willing to share it with you. At the 4 Mile bar, the guy was telling me, I went to high school here, and he was a guy in his 50s, and he immediately started recounting like old Boulder highway history, and it's like, you're going to find that in a lot of these bars. Sarah, I love this job. What a fun day we had.
We had a really nice day, Dayvid. It was a delight, and, I hope some people kind of take this up, follow the journey too. It's a good map for sure.
And tell all those bartenders that you run into that CityCast Las Vegas sent you.
Yeah.
Well, cheers to you. Looking forward to more drinking, my friend.
Cheers, Dayvid.
That's all for today here on CityCast Las Vegas. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell a friend? Maybe it's the friend you sent a neighbor membership to. You can also rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our morning newsletter. And don't forget, you can support this show and get all those great perks by becoming a CityCast Las Vegas neighbor at membership.citycast.fm, just like our new neighbors Julie D, Kel K, Cheyenne T, Kimberly T, Ed M, Tina A, and Bridget M. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news and hopefully your name as a new neighbor from all around the city. Till then, stay lucky.